There's a strange kind of silence you only hear when you're in between phases of life. Not quite where you were, not yet where you're going. I'm in that phase myself right now. I'm in a new city, a new life, with no clear roadmap ahead of me. And some days I feel like a trainer wandering through a new region with no badge, no plan, and just the sound of my own footsteps. Until I get stopped by some random guy because he has to collect footsteps from a random Pokemon. And other days I catch myself smiling for no reason. Like the game knows something good is coming, even if I haven't unlocked it yet. And that's exactly how I'm feeling today. I'm excited about filming this video, excited about the extra time I currently have after leaving my job, and excited about the fact that I'm 1% closer to calling this new place home. I used to fear transitions. That blank space between your goals and big events in your life. And that awkward silence that often comes with endings. But deep down, I always knew I needed them. Actually, I knew they were some of the best for me. Because every time I had a big transition in my life, I was shedding a skin I'd outgrown. And when you think about it, every evolution in Pokemon comes with that weird flashing animation. Everything blurs, everything shakes, and then, just like that, boom, you're onto something new. You got your Charizard. Going on exchange was the first time I chose to hit new game. It was exciting as hell, but really scaring as well. There was no script as to what I was gonna do. I knew I was gonna study at Cardiff University, and I was excited about that. But other than that, there's no pressure to be any type of way. So I decided I wanted to revamp myself socially. And in a way, I suddenly allowed myself to make all the mistakes that I was afraid of making at home. I could experiment freely, I could be my own scientist. I could wander the streets, do whatever I wanted. And that life experience, it taught me something I will never forget. That you don't need to see the whole story to make massive amounts of progress. You just need to take the first step, pick your starter and begin. Because that's exactly what I did. I found an internationals group. I wrote on there, introduced myself, told them, hey, I'm Marcus, I think I was 22 at the time. And then I asked people, does anybody want to go out? I'm going out tonight. So no matter if nobody came, I was still gonna go out that night. And I repeated this process for the next 7 days. And then I had accumulated 50 people in an internationals messenger group where I had found 6 people that I really liked. And I decided we should form a group. We should do some events just with the 6 of us. And that was the start of me realizing that I can be that social butterfly that I never thought I could be back at home. So when I came back to Denmark again, after my exchange was over, people literally told me that I seemed like a different person. I had matured a lot, grown in ways they didn't know how, but I just seemed like I was much more calm and I was much more on point. And it actually had a funny side effect that some of my old friends, I couldn't relate to them as much because I had suddenly moved to a different place internally while they were still in the same place. Another thing that really moved me internally was a heartbreak I had a couple of years ago. So I met this girl who was also studying chemistry and I thought she was really attractive, really sweet and just a very nice girl. Let's call her A. So A and I, we dated for just 2 months, but A just had this magnetic quality that I felt like she was so different compared to any other girls I'd met up until that point. And it didn't take long for me to really get attached to her. But then, seemingly out of the blue, she told me that she had to prioritize her studies more and felt like she didn't have the time to see me anymore. And at that point, I'd been working on both my social skills and dated a bunch of women for a couple of years. I felt like I knew what I was doing, but that just completely hit me in the back, that I never saw this coming. She just from one day to another went from being this really nice, sweet lady to being completely cold to me. So for the first time when I looked in the mirror and thought of why this didn't work out, unlike earlier experiences I had, this time it wasn't the distance, it wasn't the timing, it wasn't the circumstances, but it was me. And that made me realize I still had a lot to learn. So after being down for some time, I started building. I went all in on dating, on fitness, on becoming someone I could actually be proud of. Because while that pain was really difficult to endure, it didn't break me, it actually broke me open to become the person I am today. And I'm very grateful for that experience and the clarity it gave me. Because being in your 20s is like playing Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. There is no clear path. There is no professor telling you exactly where to go. You have open terrain. You can pick your own path. Some friends are racing towards the Elite Four as quickly as possible. Others are still at the starting town, just chilling out. And a few, they decided to do some shiny hunting side quests while they're pretending they are not lost. But the truth is, there's no correct timeline. This phase is supposed to be a bit disorienting. If you really think about it, do you think life would be fun if you knew exactly where to go all the time, if you just had a roadmap provided to you, just like everyone else, you might as well just be an AI. So feeling disoriented, that's not failure, but that's actually freedom to go for exactly what you want. And remember, you don't level up by standing still. You grow by exploring. So even if you don't know what you're looking for, you'll still gain EXP by taking the side routes and trying out all the side quests. And the same goes for new phases in life. You can't think your way into it. Sure, you can do some reflections and journaling and meditate on it, but at some point you'll just have to walk into it. That next version of you doesn't show up in your head. They show up in your habits, your experiments, your conversations, your mistakes. You just can't sit in the tall grass waiting for life to figure itself out. That's how you stay stuck. That's how you stay underleveled. That's how I personally, at times in my life, have wasted a bunch of time. Because I was just waiting for life to figure itself out. Spoiler alert, it never does. You have to move. Even when it's messy. And even if you're wrong sometimes. Especially if you're scared. Because breaking through your fear is one of the fastest ways to acquire freedom. And those inputs, they create the insight. It's not the other way around. So if you want this video to benefit your life, take that next step, catch the next Pokemon, say yes to the next thing. Because clarity, it doesn't come before you act.